this, as well as some of those streamers, EPs, Nick Hotz, saying that this map was one of the best.
It's certainly a very fun one as we have a look at how it works. There's the two cores left and right as expected.
Now, as I said before, this one of those maps is not snowbally usually because there's so much counterplay to it. You know, you can easily deny the Dragon Knight even if your opponent has both shrines. It's not like you instantly get it. You have to then channel it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of counterplay. Even if once the Dragon Knight is up, it can be CC'd, it can be stunned, it can be zoned, it can be targeted, it can be focused.
Very level-oriented as well as to how powerful it is. And even like just securing these shrines is so difficult in the early game. It takes a lot of rotation, a lot of teamwork. Generally, we'll see games go for a long time before both shrines can be capped from either side.
Yeah. So the most important thing about this map is to obviously control the shrines, but the most important time to control the shrines is the late game, because that late game Dragon Knight is the one that you could just right-click on the core to win with, essentially.
Yeah, you know, once you got that 20-minute Dragon Knight, you're going to be knocking down everything. It's such an easy siege objective to get in that late game.
Now, unlike our Cursed Hollow, when the Dragon is active, those mercenary camps cannot be taken unless they were started before. Now, we saw a much better draft, a much more standard draft, and they got Vala.
It worked.
For MRR, yeah.
They picked Vala early, actually, as well. It's like, you know what, we're going to bring out the big guns, we're going to show them how powerful our Vala is. And Evergreen, clearly, a fantastic player with this hero, very well practiced with her.
And Duck Duck looked really good on Muradin as well.
Yeah, I didn't mind the Muradin pick after all. You know, he did a lot of great initiates, a lot of great stunts, and really kind of face-checked everywhere for the team.
Black banned Zeratul. MRR could ban Leoric.
So they want to give that up to Black.
Because we've been seeing, you know, Abathur bans, for example, at this phase.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're obviously the Abathur users, so they might let Uther go and ban Leoric. I wouldn't mind it.
They could just ban Uther as well there. I think they might do that. I don't think they really want to let Uther for Black, considering what Black did in game number 1. It should be still echoing in their heads what they're capable of with multiple heroes.
A lot of thinking about this, and it is going to be Uther.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm sure we're going to see the similar sort of reaction from Black, which is, you know, most likely Jaina, Leoric, those top heroes.
We might see Jaina and Johanna here for MRR for the first time now. Taking it away from Sake.
Yeah, you might as well. Malfurion there, I like that as well. It's such a healthy pool of tank heroes compared to what we see of healers and supports, so go for the best support you can.
Yeah. There's really 3 viable healers: Uther, Malfurion, and of course Rhaegar.
Sometimes Harazim, apparently, like Black did very well with him, but he's also a great addition of damage, but still it just doesn't heal the same way.
Sure. Definitely kind of a tech pick that you have to drop in there. I think it was also great against Abathur because there's less targets for the heroic that he chose the damage dealing one. He didn't do the palm.
7-sided palms, 7-sided strikes.
Yeah, 7-sided strike.
It's tricky.
When you have less heroes to target, you just the damage that the heroes that are available to you do a lot more. Asaki's going to take Vala away from Evergreen this time. And I like this choice a lot. Vala was the biggest and most scariest threat that MR had on the table with Evergreen, so the Johanna pick as well to grab this double tank.
Yeah, Leoric, Johanna, I mean, it's perfect. That's the best heroes you could get for tanking in general.
Sick wave clear.
Sick wave clear, and I mean, MMR, what are they going to do from here? They're going to go for Arthas, going to go for Anubarak, maybe a Muradin again. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Banning Rhaegar first. So we are going to maybe see that Kharazim pick.
They might be forced into it at this rate.
And a Sonya ban for Black, even though they are the ones who've been using it most of the time.
Yeah. Well, just want to let it go. Still, MMR got a long way to go with their lineup, but we only see that healer and damage dealer so far.
Yeah, their comp is not really shaped yet. I feel like they're really missing those tanks, and I think Muradin is a good pick here. And maybe even a Sylvanas pick would not be so bad.
Yeah, I would like Sylvanas, but I think they still have to investing into the tanks. I think maybe Arthas would be on the board here. Muradin, Arthas.
Muradin is cool on this map because he can jump into the shrines. Yeah. So can Tyrael.
They don't seem to like Anubarak at all, which is disappointing because I think he's such a great hero still. There's that Muradin.
Duck Duck grabbing Muradin. such a great Murden player. We saw him do it so well with him last game. I know I used to practice with him sometimes. He was always picking Murden. He's like so good at this hero.
He's a fun hero.
It's crazy that we only see it like in the last game, game 3, and now in game 4. We waited so long to pick this hero.
Yeah, it's like they're just been hiding some of their tech.
Black also banned it in game 1, so something else to keep in mind. All right. What's it going to be here for damage? I think that Sylvanas is a great pickup here.
Sylvanas, it would make a lot of sense in this kind of map. You know, Sergeant Hammer as well, actually fantastic on this map.
Zagara.
Okay.
Definitely not Zagara's strongest map, but a great hero, especially when the tri-lane in bot to help push. If they go solo tank here and they get Zagara and Sergeant Hammer, that lane gets pushed insanely.
It gets pushed insanely, but I think that's just too fragile. Too much of a glass cannon sort of composition. They probably will go for a secondary tank.
I think Black might actually grab Hammer and Karazim here.
Asmodan.
And there's the Karazim.
Yeah, forcing the Karazim. Still a fantastic hero. A lot of potential for damage there. And what's the last pick for MRR after all this is said and done?
Arthas, I think, is a great closer here. Hammer still available for that crazy tri-lane with Malfurion and Zagara Hammer.
Arthas I like a lot. I like it in this situation.
Nubarak, though. Like you said, we don't see it too often from this team, but they are going to bring it up.
All right. I do like that. A great initiate here, great escape. Such a well-rounded hero as well.
He's so good with his burrow charge to cut heroes off trying to escape on the shrines. He can come into the shrine and cause so much disruption.
Certainly so. Yeah, he's such a well-rounded hero.
I think he's so much better than Arthas for this map.
Much more versatility as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, MRR survived game 3. A win here would bring us to game 5. A very nice draft for both teams. I'm really liking what we're seeing for both of them. There's not really any questionable picks. Karazim was something that was forced into.
But not a bad choice at all.
Yeah, they won with him already today. All right, guys, we're going into game 4 on Shire. All right. Game 4, MRR versus MVP Black. MRR spawning as blue, MVP spawning as red. Going into game 4.
It's going to be interesting to see where these heroes end up. Are we going to see a tri-lane, perhaps in the bottom? Bottom generally a pretty popular choice because it has those bruises as well.
Yes.
In the far south, which is always a contested point. Can always really help out pushing the lane. Well, let's find out. And no doubt Asmodan going for that very slam dunk oriented build.
Yeah.
With his Globe of Annihilation.
Probably going to see him in the mid lane so that he can harass as well as kind of rotate down to get those extra globes.
Hold that thought. We are seeing that very early team fight. No one really going down and taking too much damage to start it off.
They went on Leoric, who has that great escape. He can just instantly cleanse himself and get out of dodge. We see exactly that.
All right, well, Vala soloing bottom. Sake on the Vala.
It's funny to see a role reversal of Dome and Sake. Is now seeing Dome on Sake's hero Vala for the first time in this series.
Look at this, 4 in mid. So they're probably doing the rotations where they go 4 mid, and then they rotate bottom and clear that out really quickly and keep going back and forth.
Wants to deny Kyocha's globes as well.
As best as they can. It's not going to be an easy thing to do, not on a big map like this. First shrines have activated here. So MVP going to be claiming the top one. Letting the bottom one go for now. It's simply just too early to go for a team fight. You're going to be giving up a lot of lane soak. And look at this, waiting is Jaina for that big burst damage onto Vala.
Look at this.
Everyone rotating down here.
Oh, messing up that globe though. Kyocha wanted them to hit it first, but they actually did not. And Merryday versus Evergreen actually doing decently well in the lane. And here comes that rotation. Oh, they missed it again. They missed it again. So that's 2 whole wasted Qs that could have been actually extra bonus damage. You got to time that a little bit better. But both shrines are controlled. Lockdown is going to try to take this. And with Sign and Kyocha very nearby, he might be able to very well do that. Looks like Sake, or rather not Sake, Domi. I keep seeing Jaina and thinking Sake is going to take the top lane.
Now they're going to be a little careful. They cannot let it get capped. This early on here, that'd be a travesty, and they won't do so. Asmodee going to be buying time in the middle.
Very aggressive game here. There's constant fighting going on the entire time.
Fantastic map, and look at this. Nami looking for a bit of damage here, trying to push him out. Not going to find it there.
Meriday comes in to help ensure everybody is healed up. And now we have level 4 talents for both teams. You can see them on the screen here. The Contempt Speed. As well as Knight takes Pawn again for Johanna. We're seeing that actually become popular.
Jada going to be careful here.
Buck trying to heal, and they are going to be able to take this shrine. Will they be able to take it in time? They should, with Evergreen and Jungha able to deny that cap, that channel there in the mid. And Duck going to turn things around. We're actually seeing this go back and forth. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red.
It's hard to control for long enough at this point of the game. It's so early on. Really, like, when the team fights begin and you actually see a team win a fight, they'll have space to actually cap it properly. But until then, it's always going to be uneven numbers in bottom or top. And then you're going to try and cap it in middle while that's all happening. And it's just such a chaotic time.
It really is.
Seems like an engagement up top while this trade's going down. Not getting a perfect view of it, but nothing out of it. No one's died just yet.
But a solid push, it looks like, though, up there for MRR.
That's the big thing, and look at that. It's actually going to give him a nice experience lead here.
Any tri-lane with Zagara is going to be an insane push every time. You cannot allow this to happen. Even with Knight takes Pawn, you can see that Johanna is really struggling to push that back.
Maybe Asmodee can give some back here. Kyocha, a lot of potential for pushing, but not finding it just yet. So much more damage.
Sign taking a bit of damage, but will escape. 126 extra damage already for Kyocha, despite missing those 2 sets that we saw on camera earlier. Sign gets stunned before he can actually Spectral Walk.
Yeah, he's actually in huge trouble.
Stunned again. Leo the Spectral Walk away. And gets hit by a Blizzard immediately, but still will escape. This allows MR to clean up this lane and can actually start pushing the maps. Karzim at top. Going there.
There we go again, just constantly back and forth. Nothing really found just yet. It's such a hard map to cap on when the teams are so evenly skilled and have their rotations down. But we are seeing a lot more damage being done to the bases from MRR. They're getting down another set of towers, going to be putting them a level ahead, which is kind of scary when it's creeping up to level 10. They're going to have those heroic talents much earlier.
Yeah. Level 9 coming up is also going to give them extra damage, extra hit points, etc., etc. You know, obviously a ton of bonuses to being levels ahead at this early stage of the game, especially. Now, it's going to be impossible to channel with not only Sake here, but Asmodee is going to be able to deny so easily. Just drop a globe whenever he wants.
Trade out here, it's going to be hard for either side to
they're zoning here, actually. Domi may be able to get it just barely. Not going to happen.
Denied just for a second. It's gonna get
the stun will allow it to happen this time.
Yeah, so they finally get it. This could be another set of towers, the middle towers this time around. It's certainly going to ensure them that level 10.
Nicely done.
MRR just playing fantastically in this game.
Really holding down the shrine up at the top.
Yeah, he bought so much time.
And this is actually going to start to snowball quite quickly because level 10 will come up with any of these cannon kills with all the experience lead they're getting from these lanes now. They're pushing forward, especially the mid now, actually going 5-man mid. Malfurion pops back home for some mana and is on his way back, and there are those heroic talents. Avatar, Tranquility, the Maw.
The question mark. Not sure just yet.
Probably going to be Ring of Frost, I would say, on this map, and there it is.
Yeah, there we go. Good team fighting. All right, well, starting to continue to push down mid while that Dragon Knight just runs around Johanna. Not claiming a fort or anything like that this early on, but hold that thought.
Kyocha getting some stuns off on him. There goes the Ring of Frost to allow a disengage here, and a Tranquility as well, but they're not going to push it. Even the Healing Fountain will survive.
Yeah. Usually that's kind of the first target you want to go for once you've busted down the towers and the wall, is you go for that so they just simply don't have the same sort of sustain in a lane.
Exactly, it's like the most valuable thing that you can get easily.
It's one shot away from death as well.
Probably just drop a Moonfire on it a little bit. Something to keep in mind is during all of that, Johanna was out of position, but she allowed them to get level 10, so I think it was a good choice to have her just with her Knight takes Pawn talent up there doing some extra damage, pushing that lane and getting level 10 for them as soon as possible to catch up.
Yeah, they really just can't compete if they're down a heroic. It just doesn't. It's impossible to really win a fight like that. So they have to just let things go and just go for the disengage and go for the lane soak instead. It's a very smart play there.
Pushing this bot lane here, and the top does have the Mercs going. The Bruisers for MVP have not been taken, and I think it's too late. If they try to take it now, they might be vulnerable. MRR might be able to deny them or even steal them.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're going to be pushing with their Giants as well. MVP not really fighting too much with them after all. It's too weak.
Trying to deny some of this creep, but the creep spread is phenomenal for Evergreen. Merryday trying to hold down the fort with Karazim, going to be pretty tough, but Wells survives a bit longer. Locked down with a really good attack here, and also look at that heroic bursting down a Rubarak. Down goes Jaina.
Buck, maybe the next target. Duck might be the next target. Murden getting so low.
Sign for the chase.
Oh, look at that more.
Maw to save them.
Oh my god. All right, well that's going to shut it down, but they're going to be pushing this forward, and I guarantee they're going to get it. It's way too much damage here, especially with Asmodan.
If he gets away with that so much, they're going to get the healing well at least.
He can just sit
fort,
there.
I think he can get it.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Oh, shell burn. Such a cool laser beam.
The burn that it does. Sign going to come up here at the top to clear up this push as well. And MVP takes back that level lead, and they have the 13 talents now.
Level 13, yeah, it's such a big one as well.
Burning Rage is so important versus Zagara as well. It's going to make it so much easier for Johanna while she's just simply walking around to actually clear up that creep. Okay, we're going to have a big fight up here at the top shrine.
Not favoring MRR for this one. They're down a level still.
Oh, Evergreen gets targeted down with that globe. There's the Tranquility to try to save him, but it's a bit too late. And that means it's now going to be a 5v4. They will actually be able to take that top shrine and control it very far away from bot shrine, so they're not going to be able to get a Dragon Knight off of this, but they might be able to push down these cannons instead. Yeah,
they're working on that top forward, and they might as well do that. It's going to be so hard to claim a Dragon Knight until they get a much more one-sided team fight there. Maybe get down a few of them so they can afford to split up.
Karazim is going for it, though, and they are ready to take this.
Oh, we are seeing MMR kind of come down in a big way.
He's not able to get it nice tonight here by Jungha and Duck.
This could be another team fight there. Everyone rotating down from MVP. They want to just get the kills, keep that momentum going.
Lockdown does not have a lot of mana, but Sake does. He can actually do so much damage in the fight. He's got full potential here. One thing to note is even though MRR was leading the early game so hard, with that last fight, it's 3 kills to 0. And they lost a fort, so full forts up currently for MVP, so all that EXP yet to be taken.
All it takes is, a bad team fight, and with the power of Asmodan and Vala, you have so much pushing potential, so much damage to just get rid of another fort time and time again.
Leoric obviously can clear waves so fast after level 10. He can one-shot many of the minions.
He's actually in big trouble this time.
I don't think he's getting out of this one.
No, he's actually in a horrible place right now. He's going to be going down for free.
His escape is on cooldown. He just goes ahead and drops his heroic to stay alive a little bit longer. March of the Black King. Not going to save him, though, ultimately, in the end.
No, certainly not. It's going to create MVP to maybe defend a little bit more of this bottom shrine until he comes back. And start working on these bottom towers. They're working towards level 16 now, so they're going to have another talent lead.
They will, and again, there's pushing power here. Okay, Duck desperately trying to deny. He finds himself in a very risky spot. Jungha is coming, as well as Malfurion coming from behind on spot.
They are capping top as this is all happening as well, so MVP planned to give up that bottom shrine again.
They're right about to hit 16.
I think they'll probably start to push the issue in just a second.
This is not the scariest team for level 16. You don't have your Sylvanas, you don't have your Jaina. So it's not like level 16 makes this team a ton stronger, but obviously they're one of the best talents you can get besides your level 20 Storm talents.
They get blood for blood though, so they can chunk down like Murden or Hero pretty quickly. A good 20%. It's one thing to know, one thing to look out for. It just gets a little bit tougher.
Now with the Drain Hope upgrades here for Leoric in a fight, he's going to do so well. He's got hardened bones, he can just kind of sit on top of anything that he's life-stealing and just be totally fine. Lockdown is going in hard here.
Wow.
Does use his trait to actually try to get some more of that damage down, but there's not much more they can find. And Muradin is actually split pushing the bot lane during all of this.
Well, not the best pusher in general, but still see what he can find here. He's at least going to be clearing the lane out. It doesn't look like MVP can really commit much further than that. Not in such a narrow choke point against someone like Jainer. It's just going to be havoc.
Sign's going to come up and try to fight Muradin. The rest of the team is rotating down as well. He's not going to be alone. He's actually going to continue to control this shrine, but he should not because there's nobody getting top.
Well, here we go again.
This is a very important fight because if they lose this, they're actually going to lose the shrine.
Oh, so much damage onto Jainer for just a second.
Yeah, but still got that Ring of Frost down. Karzim doing a ton of damage as well. Merryday having to retreat here. A great burrow charge by Chang'e. And it looks like Sign is going to go down. Merryday will as well. And MRR are going to take this fight with flying colors.
That more as well, going to guarantee the kill on Azmodan too, I believe.
Yep, and that is going to be an ace for MRR. And now they're going to push down. These cannons are going to get a keep easily.
They're going to try for the core. They're going to go for the keep at least. I don't think they can get a core at this rate, but let's see.
Let's see. Sign is going to be up in just a moment.
13 minutes in here, and they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. They're going for that core. Yeah, it's going to take them a long time at level 13 minutes and 30 seconds. But they do have a lot of DPS, and I think they're going to get it.
They just get it. There's not enough time.
Sign does not have enough damage alone. Johanna is coming out very, very late, and it's just not going to be enough. The core will go down. MRR is going to bring us to a Game 5.
Wow.
GG, that is it.
Just finding the ideal engagement, and from there, just shutting it down, running through that keep straight to the core. Really, really well played from MRR. They're coming back.
That they are.
Game number 5 now. Unbelievable. Did not expect this happening at all, Wolf.
Neither did I. And you know, a lot of people put the emphasis on Black. They say they're the best team, and a lot of people say based on the results in China, Snake is second best. But we have not seen these teams fight each other yet in this league, and now we see that, in fact, yes, MRR is on the level of Snake. They can force a Game 5. Imagine if they hadn't picked that Illidan comp, they might even be ahead right now.
They might have just won it 3-1. You never know these things. Like, it's actually really pressing Black. Black not looking too happy at all, and they shouldn't. No doubt coming into this very confident. No doubt looking for that 3-0, but they've really been challenged once again. Snake first, now MRR. Looking for that win, looking for that spot at BlizzCon. Let's see what the next map's going to be. It looks like it will be that Tomb of the Spider Queen, finally.
Yes.
A very aggressive map here. And I wonder who's going to shine on this one. It's going to really come down. It's going to be very... the storyline's going to be all about the picks and bans. It's such an important map for it.
Yeah, drafting is important. We've seen a lot of Kerrigan picks on this map. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about some of these engagements. MVP having some really great Karazim fights with his heroic, just isolating heroes, doing that extra damage.
That maul
was insane.
If only there was like a way to follow that up in that situation, it would have been a beautiful thing.
Look at this, another great Karazim engage, but Tranquility will kind of save them here. And we see in the early game, the kills are dominated by MVP, but in the late game, they're just not able to take the fights that they want. Look at this Duck on Muradin. I want to see a Muradin ban from MVP. I'm serious. He's out of control. Look at him zone this. Look at him slow Saki and secure this kill.
Tanky. Yeah, he's fantastic. You know, he's just so much sustainability with him, and that stun just helps out so much.
Duck and Evergreen are holding this team together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Evergreen is so good. He is such a great player. He really didn't show it in the first couple of games, but when it got to Game 3, he turned it on, man.
How is this guy able to make these drawings so fast? He's drawn so many.
It's like a speed sketcher. Maybe he works for the police or something, one of those guys. I don't know, Wolf, but it's fantastic.
All right.
I want him to draw me a picture so I can hang it on my wall.
I want him to draw a picture of us.
Yeah. Of my bun.
Sketch it out, the Samurai Moon Bun.
Samurai Moon Bun, man. That's all I want a picture of. And maybe some Heroes of the Storm.
Well, we've seen a bit of that already from this guy, but guys, game number 5 is going to be the deciding game. Tell your friends about this.